I saw a girl who looked exactly like my twin daughters, and that was only the beginning. I was pumping gas when I saw her. She looked just like Taylor and Delia, only older, maybe 6 instead of 4. I almost called out to her before I caught myself because my girls were at preschool. Just a funny coincidence, I thought. But then another little girl came out of the store and my hand froze on the gas hump. The second girl was identical to the first one. They were twins. Twin girls who looked exactly like my twin girls, just 2 years older. Their mom was loading them into a silver minivan, and I found myself walking over before I could think about what I was doing. "Excuse me," I called out, my voice shaking. The woman turned around and smiled politely, but her expression changed when she saw my face. "Oh God, you have them too," she whispered. "How old are yours?" I couldn't speak for a moment because her question made no sense, but also made perfect sense. 4, I managed to say. "Twin girls, they're at preschool." She nodded slowly and looked around the parking lot like someone might be watching us. "Mine are 6, and there's another set in my neighborhood that's 8, she said quietly. "We've been trying to figure out what happened to us for 2 years." I felt like the ground was tilting under my feet. "What do you mean, what happened to us?" The woman pulled out her phone and showed me a photo that made me grab the side of her van for support. It was a playground photo with at least 10 sets of identical twin girls, all different ages, all with the exact same face as my daughters. "We call ourselves the Mirror Mothers," she said, putting her phone away. "There are 37 families that we know about so far, all with identical twin girls who look exactly the same no matter what year they were born." She pressed a business card into my hand with just a phone number on it. "Call Belle tonight. She's been investigating this for 3 years." The woman grabbed her daughter's hands and started walking away, but turned back. "Did you use fertility treatments?" I shook my head because I'd gotten pregnant naturally. "Check your bank records from 2019. We all thought we got pregnant naturally too." I abandoned my errands and drove straight home. Charlie was at work and the twins were at preschool, and I had 2 hours to figure out what was happening. I found our bank statements from 2019, and there it was, a $30,000 withdrawal I didn't remember labeled medical expenses. My hands shook as I called the number on the card. "Is this about the twins?" A woman answered immediately. "Yes," I said. "I just saw another pair at the gas station." Belle sighed like she'd had this conversation before. "Can you meet me right now?" "Don't go to the preschool first. Just meet me at the coffee shop on 3rd. I drove there in a daze and found Belle sitting with 5 other women at a corner table. They all looked up when I walked in and I could see they'd all been crying. "Sit down," Belle said. "What I'm about to show you is going to change everything." She opened her laptop and turned it toward me. On the screen was a medical document with my name on it from a clinic I'd never heard of. "Reproductive Health Solutions." "I've never been to any fertility clinic," I said. But Belle was already pulling up more documents. "You have. We all have. Look at the signatures." She showed me consent form after consent form with my signature, all dated during a 3-week period in 2019 that felt fuzzy in my memory. "I was visiting my sick mother that month," I said, but even as I said it, I wasn't sure. Belle clicked to another file. "Every single one of us has the same gap in our memories. 3 weeks we can't quite remember, always with some excuse for why we were away. But even if we all had fertility treatments, that doesn't explain why all the children look identical," I said. Belle's face darkened. "No, it doesn't, and that's where it gets worse." She pulled up a missing persons database and typed in a name. A photo loaded that made every mother at the table gasp. It was our daughter's face, but on a woman who'd gone missing in 2018. Her name was Ariana Miley. She was 20 when she disappeared. She had an identical twin sister who also vanished the same day. My phone started ringing and it was the preschool. "Mrs. Steck, we're calling about Taylor and Delia," the voice said, but it didn't sound like their usual teacher. "There's been an incident and we need you to come pick them up immediately." "What kind of incident?" I asked, but Belle was already shaking her head and mouthing "Don't go" at me. "Your daughters are fine, but there's been a gas leak and we're evacuating," the voice said. I knew the preschool's evacuation protocol, and they never called parents because they took the kids to the church next door. "I'll be right there," I lied and hung up. Belle was already on her phone. "They're moving on us," she said to someone. "Pack up now." Another mother at the table was typing frantically. "My neighbor just texted that there are black SUVs at my house," she said. Belle slammed her laptop shut. "Everyone get your twins and run. Don't go home. Don't go to their schools." But my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. The message was a photo of Taylor and Delia in a white room I'd never seen before, sitting next to 2 young women who looked exactly like them but 20 years older, and one of them was holding up a sign that said, "Stop looking or we take them all back." Full story on the channel below.